Hey, it's Zach again, and today I'm excited to talk with you about a subject that I think is going to be really helpful for you as a volunteer with your relationship with your leader. And the title of this module is this: 5 questions every leader is secretly asking of their volunteers. Now, these might not be questions your leader is going to ask you outright, but they definitely are asking them inside. And so if you as a volunteer can get an inside kind of scoop into what your leader's thinking and asking, I really believe it's going to help your relationship to be better. It's going to help you to be an amazingly supportive and just an amazing volunteer and a great support and a great asset to the ministry. So let's dive right in. These are the 5 questions that every leader is secretly asking of their volunteers. Number 1 is this. Every leader is asking this: am I leading you well? Am I leading you well? Leaders want to know if they're leading well. They really do. Most leaders, honestly, they agonize about whether they're leading their people well. They agonize over, am I giving them enough attention? Am I giving them enough care? Am I giving them enough training? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do to really be effective in my leadership? And so here's what you can do as a volunteer when it comes to this. Every so often, let your leader know that you appreciate working with them. Every so often, let your leader know, hey, you're doing a great job. Let them know that you love being on their team. Just a small piece of encouragement like that can make a huge difference, because leaders don't get told that. They don't get told that very often. Most of the times, as a leader, you hear the bad things. You don't hear the good things that you're doing. You hear all the mistakes that you're making or the places that you're falling short. And so, every leader's asking themselves, am I leading well? Be a volunteer that offers that encouragement. Obviously, it needs to be truthful and genuine, but offer it every so often. It'll help. Question number 2 that leaders are asking their volunteers: what am I doing that I should be doing? What am I not doing that I should be doing? Great leaders want to know if they're missing the mark. They want to know if they're failing in a particular area. They want to know if they are blind to something that they need to not be blind to. And oftentimes, here's what it comes down to. Leaders aren't intentionally trying to do something wrong. They're just unaware of it. Like a blind spot. They don't know what they don't know. And so leaders are asking this internally: what am I not doing that I should be doing? And so here's what you can, as a volunteer, can do to help in this. Be a great support, be a great asset to your leader, and be a person who will speak honest, loving truth to your leader. This doesn't mean that you complain. This doesn't mean that you're every week getting on your leader for something else that they need to do better, something else. But what it does mean is that you build a relationship with that leader to the point where you're able to, in a loving, constructive way, let them know, hey, listen, if you did this, I think that this would be so much better. And listen, a great leader is going to love that. They're going to love that because it's going to help them get better, and they're going to know what areas they're kind of falling short in. And so, and even as a volunteer, if you see a leader falling short in an area, maybe that's an area where you can jump in and help them out. So leaders are asking this: would you be the volunteer that answers that and makes a difference in that area? The third question that leaders are asking of their volunteers is this: do you have my back? Do you have my back? Leaders want to know that their volunteers have their back. Who knows what's being said behind closed doors? Who knows? And whatever area of ministry that a leader finds themselves, there's always going to be people who wish it was being done better, wish it was being done differently. Maybe you're disgruntled with how things are going. And oftentimes, even in church world, that can turn into gossipy conversations. It can turn into backstabbing conversations behind the scenes. And leaders are wanting to know, hey, listen, do my volunteers have my back? Will they speak up for me if the need comes? Will they defend me? You know, will they have my back in this whole thing? And so, you as a volunteer, here's how you can help with that. Make sure that you speak highly of your leader in public. Make sure that you speak highly of your leader in public. Make sure that you speak highly of your leader in all settings you find yourself. And if you hear something being said that maybe isn't the greatest encouragement, maybe it's not truthful, or maybe it's somebody just trying to be gossipy or backbiting, Speak up for the leader. Say, hey, listen, you know what? That's not been my experience. I've actually really enjoyed it. And if there is critique to be had, talk to the leader behind the scenes about it. But man, you could be a huge asset and a great volunteer if you're able to do this, to have their back. Here's question number 4, fourth question that every leader is asking of their volunteers. What are you not telling me that I should know? What are you not telling me that I should know? Leaders know that there's simply some things that they simply don't see, that they simply don't hear, and they're hoping for faithful volunteers who are going to make sure that they're aware of things that they need to be aware about. Now, this isn't a paranoia thing. This isn't like, a paranoia, like micromanaging, like have to know, control kind of thing. I don't believe it's that. I mean, it could be in some scenarios, but I don't think it's that. It's simply that leaders want to be aware of what's happening. They want to be aware of what's going on. And so here's what they're asking of their volunteers. What are you hearing that I need to hear? What are you seeing that I need to see? What is happening behind the scenes that I am not seeing that I need to know about? And so for you as a volunteer, how you can be a big help in that is just keep your leader informed. Just let them know what you're seeing. Let them know what you're hearing, the good, the positive, and the negative, because that's going to be very, very helpful to your leader. Last question, number 5. Fifth question that all leaders are asking of their volunteers is this: will you fight with me? Will you fight with me? I'll be honest with you, in ministry, it feels like a battle quite often. It feels like a fight. Oftentimes, what we do in ministry feels like an uphill battle. It does. It feels like an uphill battle for so many reasons. Listen, this is why ministry is so different than other areas of work and other areas in the world, is because not only are we just battling the struggles that come with regular life, but there's also a spiritual battle that we're battling in the ministry realm. And leaders are asking volunteers, are you willing to fight with me? Are you gonna be in this for the long haul with me? Are you gonna persevere with me? Are you gonna fight? The worst thing as a leader is to feel like you're on the front lines, and that you're on your front lines in battle, and that you look to your left and you look to your right and there's nobody there. It's a terrible feeling. It's hard feeling like you're on the front lines as a leader and that you look back behind you and all of your volunteers are just kind of hanging out and slacking, and you're having to constantly pull them up and say, come on, I need you to fight with me. Come on, I need you to fight with me. Listen, if you be the best volunteer you can be a volunteer that's willing to get into the fight and to stand arm in arm with your leader and fight this battle. Fight the battle of doing ministry. Fight the battle of pouring into people. Fight the battle of week after week investing in people's lives. So hopefully this was helpful to you as volunteers to get a little bit of an insight into maybe some of the ways your leader thinks, maybe some of the questions that they're asking internally. And if you can be a volunteer that can help bring answers to these questions, then boy, you are going to be so amazingly effective. You're going to be a great blessing to your leader. Your leader's going to lead better. They're going to do a much better job. They're going to be more at peace. You're going to be more at peace. And the ministry and the church are going to thrive. And ultimately, in all of this, God's going to be very honored. Hope this was helpful for you today.